How's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball HTB. I hope you guys are well. Thanks for tuning in. I've got two special guests with me. I have Warriors and our Fanatics, as well as Brad Inger. But I'm not going to introduce them. I'll let them introduce themselves. But first of all, over to you and our Fanatics.
Yeah, hi guys. It's great to be back on the channel again, and looking forward to the discussion tonight. We're chatting about Warriors game on the weekend, and dice result. And thanks Hold the Ball for having me on, and as well as to Brad for coming on as well. It's good to see Brad come on the channel as well. So look to the discussion tonight.
Awesome, and you're welcome. And Brad, over to you, brother. Please let us know who you are, what you do, and what you are about.
Yeah, cheers for having me on, guys. It's Brad here. I run Inger's League Wrap Up, where I do weekly match reports and reviews on Warriors games. And also host the show The Standoff with my mate Richie on New Zealand Sport Radio. And first time back on the show this year with you, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, look, thank you. And that is right. You've been here before, so I appreciate you giving us your time as well, especially being in New Zealand. So thank you very much for that. Guys, obviously we know it is Warriors chat, so we'll be diving into that very, very soon. But guess what? There was a game that I think many of us may think is probably a contender for game of the year, or at least up there. There was a game between the Parramatta Eels and the West Tigers. Fanatics, over to you. What were your thoughts on that game, man? It was a brilliant game.
Yeah, look, I came into this game thinking this was probably going to be a blowout score, Parramatta win, but turned out to be the complete opposite. The West Tigers turned up with a great attitude. They came out there, they wanted to win the game, and look, they really Parramatta at the start. Parramatta made a lot of errors. They looked like they were going to score, a couple of tries, but they made tons of errors. And Jackson Hastings as the half Brooks, I thought that combination. There's a lot of discussion. The fact that Jackson Hastings was playing 7 and Luke Brooks was a combination that really worked for them today. So, look, West Tigers, it was a very good win for them and their first win of the season. So, massive congratulations to them and their fans, because they have been suffering for the last couple of weeks now, and it's good to see them get a victory against one of the heavyweights of the competition, a top team in Parramatta up there at Commonwealth Stadium. Result for them.
Yeah, well said, and I agree there. Brad, your thoughts on the game, man?
Yeah, I think Hastings is the difference. He just adds so much direction to that side. And I think Parramatta ended the game with like 15 or 16 errors. And I've said it a lot on my show, but the NRL is the type of competition where you can't just give your opposition the ball that easily because they'll make you pay. Generally, I put an asterisk next to it and say, unless you're playing the Tigers. But they fronted, which is good to see. I talked a lot last year about the Tigers weren't getting the results, but they showed a lot of heart, and they've just been missing that this year. And it was good to see them have a bit of fighting spirit back in them. And hopefully we see a few more wins out of them this year.
Yeah, look, I agree with what you've said there. I myself feel similar in the sense that watching that game there, you sort of were, I guess you probably had a little feeling there that the Tigers would somehow come away with it. It was just the way they played, where there's momentum, doing the things at the right time. I'm not sure, but it was definitely at their best there. But at the end, I really was going for the Tigers to win. Like, I tipped the Eels. I think 95, 98% of us probably did, except for their fans, obviously the Tigers fans. But I was actually very happy there when Hastings had the drop goal there. They needed it. He needed it. And just like what Brad touched on as well, it's good to get that win, these momentum. There's something they can use to move forward. But in saying that, brilliant game, and definitely one that I think a lot of us felt emotionally as well. But that's a wrap up there for them. So, guys, we have here at the Warriors chat the big topic, the big discussion point here. Obviously, we will be touching on the Roosters and Warriors, but at the same time, as you guys know, there'll be player stats and then there'll be talking points as well. Feel free to ask any questions in between that. Myself, Fanatics, as well as Brad can also answer as well during that. But just a bit of a summation, Brad. the Roosters and Warriors game and the way you sort of saw it before hitting the player stats?
Yeah, frustrating to watch as a fan. We talked before we went live that the elephant in the room is the officiating. But I do think that I didn't think the Warriors played good enough in that second half. They weren't helped by some dodgy calls, but I just felt like the Roosters defensive line was just coming up so quick, and the forwards, with the exception of Fanua Blake and Curran, weren't really bending the line, and that's what they really needed. And the Roosters just kept them camped in their own 20. And you're not going to score a lot of points when you're spending the entire game or entire second half in your own half.
Yeah, no, I agree there. Fanatics, over to you, bro.
Yeah, look, I thought we started off very well. I think we were frustrating. We were frustrating the Roosters quite a lot, actually. I think they had a few, made a few mistakes early on the game, and I thought our attack was very threatening. I thought we were very dangerous in attack. Reece Walsh, I thought he was playing. Yeah, look, a forward pack was standing up, but look, unfortunately, the second half happened, and I thought we weren't good enough in the second half. I thought, with a game plan in the second half to stop us, from getting any opportunities whatsoever. And Walker made a big difference there. I thought he was a massive influence in that second half for the Roosters on their way to coming back as well. And I thought the Roosters really stood up, and that's what the victory. And you can debate questionable calls, which I was very, very frustrated with. I thought there was quite a few number of calls that went against us, which it didn't help our case. But were we robbed? I personally don't think we were robbed of this game. I think we just weren't good enough on the day. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's disappointing. It's a game that we could have won, but at the end of the day, it's not the result that we wanted, obviously. So, yeah, look, why they took competition.
Yep. No, I agree there, Fanatics. Look, just to sort of touch on it briefly myself, you touched on it there. Look, the way I looked at the game was, yeah, that's right. We weren't robbed, but we're probably robbed of some decisions there that should normally have gone, our way. I mean, I can talk about Tedesco, right? I can talk about Reece Walsh having the ball stripped. I can talk about Pompey's leg. I can talk about Adam Fanua Blake. I can even talk about the ref making the call that Benoit Selezniak knocked the ball back, knocked the ball on when he didn't. Well, he didn't clearly when the replay showed. I can talk about a whole heap of things. Ultimately, what it comes down to is that, again, in crucial points, Benoit Selezniak drops the ball. Kevin Nakama picks it up. He scores. Adam Pompey drops the ball in the first half. The Roosters get a scrum. They score a try off it. Again, it's just unfortunate errors there. Ultimately, which, yeah, look, like I said, we'll obviously dive more into it. But my thoughts on the game overall, it was, I'll say for me, I was going there expecting a win. I know, silly me, foolish. My heart was definitely left not satisfied. So it was a bit heartbreaking, especially against the Roosters, especially surrounding the 2002 context as well. Just double pain on pain. But hey, what is new? Go the Warriors, right? It is what it is. You just got to learn to move on week by week. But anyway, I digress. So, guys, we have the player stats here, and I will read your comments in between that. And the way it goes, as you guys know, we just talk about the players and then sort of read out their stats and just have a talk about them. What are your thoughts about them? All right, so first on the list here, obviously, is Walshy Baby, as I dub him. Fanatics, over to you, man. Your stats and your thoughts on them.
Yep. Okay. So Reece Walsh, 1 try assist, 138 running meters, 6 tackle breaks, 1 line break, 5 tackles, 2 missed tackles there, and then 3 errors. So yeah, I thought Reece Walsh had a very good game. Look, I had him in my 3-2-1 as a man of the match contender. So yeah, look, I thought he played well. He had a great game, and he also scored. He also made that magical play for that Benoit Selezniak try as well, which was try. So yeah, look, he played well.
Yep. Brad, what were your thoughts on Reece Walsh overall?
Yeah, I was impressed. I had him in my 3-2-1 for the game as well. I had him. I gave him a point. Yeah, that kick It's a beautiful little banana kick. But yeah, he's just full of energy. I mentioned in my review today, I want to see him getting involved more, running off the shoulders. There's a few moments where if he was just running off the shoulder of one of the big boys, like I think you get him on the inside or the outside shoulder, Adam Finn or Blake, that just screams money. But he's still young and learning his craft. So yeah, it's hard to nitpick too much, but yeah, I was definitely happy that he seems to be getting on and building combinations with Shawn, which is what we all want to see.
Yeah, I agree there. So guys, we're just reading through the comments. So check it here. Walsh's second half kickoff laid the platform for the Chookies to get on top and roll. And then we also have a hey, what's up, HTB fans and Fanatics? Good to see Brad back on. What's up, tough loss, sweet. And I'll read the comments as we keep going by. So the next one here is Benoit Selezniak, and I'll read the stats and then pass it over to you, Brad and Fanatics. All right, so with Benoit Selezniak over here, if it can pop up. So yeah, 1 try, 102 run meters, 3 tackle breaks, 7 tackles, 2 missed tackles, and 2 errors. Brad, what were your thoughts on the way DWZ played?
Yeah, I thought a lot of people look at him for those errors. I thought he played all right for his first game back. Coming back from a broken thumb, still a bit wishy-washy. He's always been a bit of a hardened throat moment when he's trying to get diffuse a kick. He's always kind of had an error or two in his game, but I thought he added some meters for us that we really needed. The being able to look at Reese on the way to that try and see what they were thinking on the fly and being there for it. It's just good. It's that experience that the Warriors have been missing from time to time in their backline. I think he'll get better. It's the first one back after, how long's it been? I think it was round 1, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah,
that he hurt himself.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's been a long time since he's actually got to have a run. Probably wasn't even anticipating being back for this game either. So I think the best is yet to come. I think with him, and yeah, just look for him to get a few more tries like that. Hopefully from Walshy baby.
Yes, for sure. Fanatics, over to you, bro.
Look, I thought Dylan was he was good. Besides those 2 errors, I thought he had a pretty good game. But look, it's first game back, but I believe from injury. So look, he'll get better. He'll get better with time and with a few games under his belt. So yeah, it's just good to see him back on the field.
Yeah, for sure. Look, the way I sort of sum it up quickly was it was great to see him back. You can see by the stats that he definitely tried. Obviously, he did score on as well. But, again, just with that knock on leading it to a try, that was probably the most infuriating part about it. But in saying that, much like Brad said, he probably wasn't even expecting to play that game. So you got to give him leeway. He will definitely get better, I'm sure, as the weeks go on. So, again, yeah, overall, awesome as. All right, Brad. Did you want to give this a try? Jesse Arthur's in his stats and your thoughts on him.
Yes, Jesse Arthur's, he made 55 running meters, 1 tackle break, 13 tackles with 2 missed tackles and 1 error. I actually had him as my player to improve this round. I thought he's been playing so well the last couple of weeks, and I thought he kind of just dipped. He ran for the least amount of meters in the back line. A few missed tackles. He's generally been pretty good defensively, but I think I put it down to just an off night. Not sure what your guys' take on that is, but yeah, disappointing to see him have a dip in form.
Yeah, look, I agree. Just to follow there, I agree with you. It wasn't his best sort of outing, considering what he can produce. I'm sure it was probably just a bad night, but obviously you don't want this to sort of build. That's the trouble. Some players who have bad, games, they sort of have them in strings, and that's when the low confidence comes in, and that's when the bad form, and then it sort of goes downhill from there. So I'm hoping he learns from this. But in saying that, though quiet, hey, I'm sure he'll bounce back. Hopefully, probably the wrong team to do it against, but we'll see what happens. Fanatics, over to you, bro.
Yeah, look, I thought this was one of his quietest games. Actually, I think since coming into the Warriors colours, I think he's been playing very well, and I thought this was one of his quietest games that he's played. Actually, so yeah, look, probably a tough game for him over on the field on against the Roosters, but yeah, look, hopefully he's back in the next game. I thought it was one of his quietest games.
Yep, yeah, I agree. Look, a question here for Pierce Makaola. So DWZ played okay, but still an undersized winger. Why haven't we debuted Ratuva already? Brad, your thoughts on that?
I think they're just trying to give Ratuva more time. I had him as one of my 5 players to watch this year, and I think he's going to get a shot, but he was injured for most of last year, so he basically played 3 games at the end of last season for Redcliffe. So I think they're just trying to get some runs on the board for him before they throw him in. And I don't think throwing him in against the Roosters would have been the way to go. So his time will come, but he's still very young and still very raw.
Okay. All right, guys. So we'll move on to the next one here. Fanatics, over to you. This is Adam Pompey. I know he's that type of player where people like him or don't. He seems to be like a weekly sort of talking point for a lot of us. But Fanatics, give us his stats and your thoughts on him.
Yeah, so Adam Pompey, 1 try assist, 131 run meters, 2 tackle breaks, 7 tackles, 2 missed tackles, and 1 error. Look, for me, for Adam Pompey, I personally think he was. I'll say his game was not too bad. I wouldn't say he played too badly because 131 run meters is not a bad performance here on the field in terms of stats. But yeah, look, I thought he was solid. I thought he had a solid game. I thought he, did all right. 1 error, which is good. 1 mistake. So yeah, besides that, I thought he had an all right game actually.
Yep, Brad, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that's always pretty hard on Pompey. I traditionally don't rate him as a centre, and I was concerned that he was going to have to defend against Joey Manu. But I think he did really well. Defensively, he did have 2 missed tackles, but if you look at that and go, he was marking Joseph Manu, you would expect that to be a lot more. Him and Chanel and that edge really stopped Manu from having an impact in the game, which gives Pompey a tick in my book for his performance.
Yep, no, I agree. Defensively, on point. Unfortunately, that 1 error was costly. It did equate to 6 points. But in saying that, like you said, it could have been a lot worse, considering he was marking, what some people call as one of the best, if not the best centre in the game currently. So, good work for him there. All right, guys, we're going to read off his stats and give my brief thoughts on him. So Eagan had, so he played for 70. Sorry, guys. Edward Gossey played for 75 minutes. He had 1 try, 79 run meters, 1 tackle break, 1 line break, 5 tackles, 0 misses, and 1 error. Yeah, look, my thoughts on Edward Gossey, it was okay. I don't really know how to sum it up. In terms of his size, in terms of what he should be producing, I personally don't think it's enough. I don't know. I mean, look, in saying that there were 1 try, yes, that is suffice. Whether you give him a pass mark or not, I'm not too sure how you go about it, but it was okay. But I do think he needs to deliver more, and that's just not for this game. It's been games prior as well. But yeah, over to you, Fanatics.
Yeah, look, I thought he started the game off pretty well. Look, scoring 1 try there, 79 run meters. Look, it's not too bad, but you could ask for a bit more for Edward Coase. I mean, he's a big winger there, and he could do a bit more. But I don't think he was terrible. I don't think he had a bad game at all whatsoever. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough to say with Edward Coase. It's really tough to say. Look. For me, it's hard to say on his performance-wise here, but yeah, I don't think it was shocking at the end of the day. I don't think it was terrible. I don't think he was one of the worst players.
Yep. Well said. And I'm just going to quickly read through the comments here, guys. So Pompey is a far better left center than a winger. He has surprised me as I didn't think he was up to first grade. Well, I agree. And I think that's right. He's definitely a better, I think anyway, center than he is, for sure, winger. And Clark is in our column. Hey, hold the ball. Found your channel today and love it, bro. Keep up the great work. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. As well as BKR Sports as well, commenting. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. All right, so now we'll move on to the next player here. This one here, 5 Harris Tavita. Give me 2 secs. All right. Brad, over to you, man. Stats and thoughts on him.
Oh, yeah. So he had 80 running meters, 10. What's the 10L? What's?
Sorry, that's one offload. My bad. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my bad. 1 offload, 13 tackles, 0 missed tackles, 83 kicking meters, and 1 error. I think Chanel's going from strength to strength this year. I was one of the guys that didn't even have him in my team at the start of the year before the first game, just on the stock that we had. But I think, he's really combining well with Shawn. There's still a little bit of hiccup here and there, but I think he has been one of the better performers this season so far. His kicking game's improved. That was always my biggest concern with Chanel. It was kind of, he had a grubber in him, and that was about it last year. I think he's probably one of the better defensively sound halves running around in the comp.
Yes. Absolutely. Yep. I agree. Fanatics, over to you.
Look, I think Chanel's has been pretty good lately. Actually, I think he's just building those combinations of Shawn Johnson on the field. I think he was good, actually. I think he did a good job there. And I think he's only going to get better in the next couple of weeks. So, I thought he was pretty good, personally.
Awesome. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I'm just seeing a bit crazy in the chat, so I'm just going to have to block someone there for now anyway. Time him out. Yeah. Getting a bit hectic there. Yeah, look, I thought for Chanel Harris Tavita personally, a good solid outing. He definitely tried in some spurts there. I guess the big question is, where does he go for next year? But I'm sure we'll touch on that when we get there. I didn't mind the way he played. I thought he was good. Again, defensively sound. All right, so Shawn Johnson, Magic Johnson. So 44 running meters, 1 tackle break, 1 line break assist, 11 tackles, 4 missed tackles, 455 kilometers, and 0 errors. Look, my thoughts on him, his game, good in spurts, I think. He's giving us what we need, so I can't complain there. He's definitely leading us over the park, but I just feel like at times as well, unfortunately, I'm not sure what it is. Either it's just not clicking, but something's just not working there. I'm not sure why, but that's just my thoughts there personally. Fanatics, what were your thoughts on Shawn Johnson there?
Look, I'd be completely honest. I didn't think it was. I think I don't think he played well. To be honest, I think he could have shown a little bit more in terms of. It was one of his best games. Actually, I think. I don't think he played that well. To be honest.
Yeah, Brad, your thoughts on Shawn Johnson?
Yeah, I think it's probably his worst performance since coming back. There was still some touches in there where he did all right, but overall, I don't know if it was the fact that the forwards weren't getting a roll on for him and he was playing behind a flat pack and couldn't do what he wanted to do. But I'm not too sure. He's been around long enough though that I know a game like this will just spur him on to bouncing back better. You could see after the game how disappointed he was, not only in the result but his own performance. So I expect him to be a lot better against the Storm, which the Warriors will really need.
Well, to be fair with you, if there's one player who can turn the tide, it is ironically the very man we're talking about, Shawn Johnson. He's been there. He's done that. The last time they beat the Warriors was 2014, and hey, he was part of that side too. Need I remind you? But yeah, if there's one player who can do it, it's definitely him. So we'll see what happens as we move along. All right, the captain of the team, Brad. I know you're a big fan of him, so I'll let you run this off. What are your thoughts? Stats as well. Your thoughts on him?
Yeah, so Adam Fanatics, he played for 61 minutes. He ran for 146 meters, 6 tackle breaks, 1 line break assist, 29 tackles with no misses, and 1 error, which we could technically probably take away from him, to be fair. But yeah, I had him as my player of the match. Thought he's been fantastic this year. The biggest issue, I think, especially in this game, is he needs help from the rest of the pack. He's kind of out there carrying everybody on his shoulders, which he's talented enough to do. But if the Warriors want success, they need a few more people just to come at least halfway to his level. But yeah, I thought it was a solid outing from him. And I think he's really matured since being given the captaincy.
Okay, Fanatics, your turn. Over to you.
Yeah, look, Adam Fanatics had a performance. I thought he played well, and yeah, he was up there in my 3-2-1 as well. Yeah, look, he's been playing well for the first couple of rounds of the season. So yeah, has been very good there, and he's been, at one of our main players in that 4-pack, Curran. So yeah, look, there's other players, like Brad mentioned, that there are players that need to step up as well in the 4-pack besides Adam Fanatics and Josh Curran. So yeah, look, I thought Adam Fanatics had a great performance, and he's keeping that performance going that he did last year. So yeah, I thought he was very good, Adam Fanatics.
Yeah, I agree. Just to follow up what both of you guys said, I thought he had a tremendous game, and that's right. That one error, you can definitely, I think, scrub it away. Unfortunately, though, I am seeing him as that. He's almost the only one besides Curran who actually is doing a lot of that front load work regarding the meters, and we'll get to that as a topic. But yeah, good showing out there from the captain. I was very pleased with the way he played. So you can't really do much there. He definitely gave it his all. He's a beast. All right, we'll move on now to Wade Eagan. So, Fanatics, over to you, man. His stats and your thoughts on the way he played. Thank you.
Yep, Wade Eagan. So 26 run meters, 44 tackles, 2 missed tackles, and no errors there. So look, really, not much to say there about Wade Eagan personally. I think it's he needs a little bit more. Yeah, I've just not been too impressed there by Wade Eagan so far, actually. So yeah, look, yeah, not really much to talk about there in regards to Wade Eagan. He's got to show a bit more in terms of his running game, personally.
Yeah, no, I agree. Brad, your thoughts on Wade Eagan, the way he played.
Yeah, he was a bit quiet in the running department in this game, but I thought other than that, he was reasonably solid. He was giving good delivery out of the ruck. He seems to have put the no-look pass away, which was my biggest concern with him last year. But yeah, if he wants to be out there for big minutes, he needs to have that running game. Again, in this game, I put it down to just the forwards not rolling up enough. Your good demi halves are coming off quick play the balls from their forwards. So
yeah, look, that's a valid point. I guess it is probably just a collective thing, right, from forwards right to the hooker, and I suppose that's just equates to just that. We have seen though Wade Eagan and Sparks where he can up and play well, but in saying that, it is what it is, I suppose. Brad, Aaron Penner's stats and your thoughts on him.
You're giving me prop duty tonight. Aaron Penny he played for 41 minutes. He ran for 93 meters, had 3 tackle breaks, 27 tackles with 1 miss and 1 error. Yeah, I thought Penny was reasonably strong in his first start for the Warriors too. He went off for an HIA and then didn't really look the same when he came back. But I still think he's going to be a solid prop in the future. He's just another player that needs to get some experience under his belt and just to help Fanua Blake a little bit more.
Yeah, agreed. Fanatics, over to you.
Yeah, look, I think Aaron Pena's been pretty good. He good in this game, coming off the bit. Was starting this game? I think it was starting actually. Sorry. So yeah, look, I think he had a good game and needs a bit more minutes. You know, I've been, yep. So yeah, look, I've been massively talking about saying that he should be getting more minutes in games, and I think he played well. Actually, played very well in this. He's a very good player, and I think he needs a bit more opportunities. That's for sure.
Yeah, look, I thought, you know, considering I think it was his first time starting for us, right? I think he laid a foundation somewhat. But, you know, 27 tackles, 1 miss, you can't really complain there. But I'd probably argue and say he needs to be doing a lot more running than that, to be fair. He is supposed to be the fitter out of the two, you know, out of him and Adam Fanua Blake, arguably. So I expect him to be taking more of those runs and just delivering more. So, look, in terms of his first, you know, the overall assessment regarding his first time starting for us, that is, it was okay. It was okay. But I really want to see him eat more meters. Like, he needs to deliver there more because we can't be relying on one prop to do all the work, which unfortunately has been the case. You know, to be honest, yeah, isn't great. I don't think anyway. Okay, then next, you and Eagan stats and your thoughts on him.
Yep. So you and Eagan 81 offload. 28 tackles, 3 missed tackles, and 0 errors. So, yeah, look, if you're looking at the amount of running meters he made, you and Eagan, 83 meters is not much, but he made 28 tackles as well. So defensively there, and he only missed 3 tackles. So that's personally not, I think, but obviously running meters, you know, he'd probably want to like to run a bit more, but yeah, I thought it was a solid showing by you and Eagan for me. So, yeah.
Yep. Yourself, Brad?
Yeah, I think it was a quieter game than we're usually expecting from him this year. But I don't think he was awful by any means either. He was just putting his head down and doing the work. I like seeing all the forwards getting 100 meters. That's kind of my bar of a good game. Is hitting yes. Triple digits, which he didn't do here. Had his hands full defensively, but did enough. You know, 3 missed tackles is quite a lot in my eyes, but I'm always expecting the very best out of all of them. So, 28 tackles with 3 misses isn't too bad. And, it's just, I think I saw it in the comments earlier. I think it was just that Roosters line speed was kind of stunting a lot of the forwards.
Yep.
Which I think he was a bit of a victim of as well.
Yeah, well, you see, even on a good day, I don't think he usually racks up that many meters anyway. I think this is probably like a standard, unfortunately, you and Eagan sort of performance. You know, the good tackles. I'm not used to seeing him miss a few tackles, though, to be fair. You know, and the running meters just aren't there, just isn't clicking, unfortunately. But again, probably like another standard you and Eagan performance there. Me. All right, so Bailey Surinam, 62 minutes, 57 run meters, 30 tackles, 3 missed tackles, as well as 0 errors. Look, obviously, you know, with Bailey Surinam being named, I think a lot of us may be out there sort of questioning why he is named. But I sort of do see the value in him from the defensive end. Now, we all know that rugby league isn't played, in one way. It's 2 ways, right? These are offense as well as defense. And much like what Brad said as well, it's all good and wild. But yeah, the 57 run meters is a worry. And it is something, it's not a strong point, to be honest. This is probably his average, you know, I would even say probably a bit lower than that. So yeah, look, 0 errors, it was all right. But again, in terms of defensive, you know, his defensive trait, it was great. But again, yeah, not much to say there for me personally. Over to you, Brad, your thoughts.
Yeah, I've been pretty harsh on Sirenin all year. I call him Mr. Invisible in my stuff because you barely notice that he's there. I always have to constantly go to the NRL website to see his stats just to figure out how long he played and everything. I think there's just at the moment with injuries, he's kind of out there because he has to be. But if everyone was healthy, I don't think he would be getting in the 17. I don't know. Nathan Brown seems to like him a lot, so he might stay there. But yeah, I don't rate him that much at the moment. Defensively, he's very sound. But yeah, as you said, there's two sides of footy here, and he's good at one and really bad at the other. And I'd rather have someone that's okay at both.
Yeah, look, that is fair enough. Fanatics, over to you. Your thoughts on Bailey Sherman?
Yeah, look, I think I still personally stand by it that someone like a Jake Murchie or Ben Murdoch-Masila should be getting a starting spot over Bailey Sherman. Yeah, I think he should be. I personally don't think Bailey Sherman started enough, and I stand by not showing performances. He did a lot there as well, and yeah, look, I think Jack Murchie should be getting a spot, and as well, maybe Ben Murdoch-Masila should get a spot in the 17, but that's what I think personally.
No, I agree. Sorry, guys. I'm just having to, again, these hope of troll work happening in the comments here that is definitely going on there as I'm reading comments. So, apologies there, fellas. All right. And there was someone previously, I think, in context to Ewan Eagan, saying that he's a center playing second row to give him a break there. What are your thoughts on that sort of comment there yourself, Fanatics, regarding Ewan Eagan?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. What was the comment again? I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah. So sorry. It was in relation to Ewan Eagan there. Someone was mentioning how he is a second. He's the center playing second row to sort of ease up on the criticism there. What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah. Look, he's probably got a point. I mean, the viewer that had made that question, I think he's got a point there. And but Ewan Akins played there last year, so he's played there before. So if you're playing the forwards, you still got to do a job. It might sound harsh, but at the end of the day, I think if you're in that pack, you got to do a job. You got to make the running meters. You got to step up and show performance on that side of the field. So yeah, if Ewan Aiken has been playing in the centres before, but he's in the second row now, so he needs to step up and do a bit more. That's okay.
So Josh Curran, over to you, Brad. His stats as well as your thoughts on.
So Curran played 69 minutes. He made 100 running meters, 1 tackle break, 44 tackles, 3 misses with no errors. I think I fall in love with this guy more and more every week. He was the guy I gave 2 points to in my top 3 players of the week, and I think, I think I mentioned it earlier before the season even started that there's 2 things you can't teach, and that's heart and grit, and he's got both in spades. And you saw that in this match. He was busting his ass out there, and he was getting hurt, and he went off, and he came back, and he refused to quit, which is something that I think every player needs to have in them. Not all of them do, but I thought it was a great effort for him in a losing side.
Yep. Fanatics, your thoughts?
On who was it? Sorry. Who was the player?
Josh
Curran.
Josh Curran. Oh, sorry, guys. So, yes, Josh Curran. So, yeah, look, I think Josh Curran had another good game. He's been playing well this season. And, yeah, I think he's putting up his hand for a potential State of Origin spot for New South Wales. I know it's probably unlikely, but, you know, I heard Brad Fittler talk about Josh Curran only a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, look, I think Josh Curran's been very good this season. And, you know, he was good last year as well. Probably our most improved player for me. Probably a long shot. But, yeah, look, I think Josh Curran's been continuing on that great form. And against the Roosters, I thought he was very good, very courageous as well, because he came off the field, you know, with an injury, and it looked like he was gone. It didn't look like he was going to play the rest of the half. And he went back out there and played the second half. And he still didn't look right, too, when he was coming back onto the field. So, yeah, look, I've got to say, Josh Curran, very courageous, and he's been good this season so far, for sure.
Yep. No, well said. I'm not going to touch on Josh Curran there too much. I mean, you know, he's great. He's good. I mean, you know, there's not much to say there. I just enjoyed kudos on him as well for actually playing on with the injuries as well. What a tough dude, man. And we're so fortunate to have him, and fortunate to actually have him in that sense that I think he wants to stay with the Warriors long term. If things are going that way, he wants to be with us, man. And how grateful we should be and appreciate that, to have someone of that caliber wanting to be with us. You know, anyway, I'll say no more. So we're going to go to the bench here. Cody Nikorima, 60 minutes, 15 run meters, 1 tackle break, 10 tackles, 1 miss, 0 errors. Look, there's probably not too much there for me to talk about regarding him and the way he played. It was a small sample size, so unfortunately, there's not too much there I can really gather. However, you know, 10 tackles, 1 missed tackle, where good, 15 run meters, 1 tackle break. I suppose he came, he saw, and he left. Is probably the best way to summate it. But over to you, Brad.
Yeah, a small sample size there. He added spark, which is kind of his job as the number 14, to kind of come on when the defensive line's tiring out. Unfortunately, this was the Roosters, and they weren't getting that tired. But yeah, I think he added some spark. I still want to see a bit more impact from him when he comes on. But yeah, I'll just keep harping on about the forwards not doing the work to help him out.
Yep. Fanatics, your thoughts?
Look, based on those minutes and based on those stats, there's really not much to say in terms of Cody Nikorima in this game, personally. And I still think he's just not, you know, doing enough right now. He's not been doing enough couple games of the season. So, yeah, not really much to say personally from my point of view on Cody Nikorima. I just think it was, yeah, hard to say because he didn't really in terms of standing out.
Yep, fair enough. Brad, stats and thoughts on Bunty Alford in his performance.
Yeah, so Bunty played for 42 minutes, had 65 running meters, 1 tackle break, 26 tackles with no misses and no errors. Yeah, a bit quiet on the running meter front, but he's not always a big meter eater. So I wasn't too overly concerned. I think everyone was a little bit behind, with the exception of Whenua. But I like what I see out of Bunty. I think he's that old school off the back fence style of front rower that the Warriors always like to have 1 or 2 of them under their belt. But yeah, I thought a decent game off the bench for him. Just hoping he comes up a little bit more.
Yeah. No, look, I agree there. My thoughts on it, definitely regarding the run meters there, not the best from Bunty. But in saying that, I thought he played well, considering the 26 tackles, no misses is quite good. It's a good sign to see there. But I definitely love Bunty from the back fence, to be honest with you guys. And I don't think it saw enough of that. I'm sure he will be ready for it next week. Fanatics, your thoughts just quickly on Bunty Alford and the way he played.
Yeah, I think in terms of running, he's a bit down on his usual best there in terms of running meters. I thought he could do a little bit more for me. And yeah, look, besides that, I think it was probably one of his quietest games for me. So yeah, that's all I've got to say about him. But yeah, hopefully he bounces back next week against the Melbourne Storm if he gets a starting spot or on a bench spot.
Yeah, well, well said. We'll wait and see. Fanatics, over to you, man. Elias Sakato's stats as well as your thoughts on him.
Yeah, so Elias Sakatoa, he played 32 minutes and he had 40 run meters, 28 tackles, 2 missed tackles, and no errors. So yeah, another one which was a little bit quiet in terms of running. And 28 tackles, a lot of work defensively for Elias Sakatoa, but in terms of sample size, in terms of stats here, it's not much really to cry about in terms of the stats here. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yep, Brad, your thoughts?
Yeah, quiet day for Katoa. I really like how he plays normally, but he had a lot of work to do defensively and was reasonably sound there. It's just, again, almost similar to what I said about Suriname. You got to play both sides of the ball, and he just needs to increase that a bit more if he wants to be a regular in the 17, especially with guys like Murdoch Masila, Tohu Harris, and all the like coming back. Those spots on the bench are going to dry up. So he needs to put his hand up a bit more if he wants to stay in.
I'd even argue and say that Jack Murchie was probably a better fit. Honestly, the way he played Gador there, I would have selected Murchie ahead of him personally. Who's to know what he would have performed like? But, with that being said, you're right. The way Gador played, it definitely leaves the door open, and I don't think he's going to be the one coming through it again. I don't think, especially when the boys are back. Last player here before we get to the talking points. Daniela Otto, 17 minutes, 32 run meters, 12 tackles, 2 missed tackles, and 0 errors. Look, again, much like Nikorima, a small sample size there. Not really effective, but again, with the small minutes there and the speed line of the Roosters, can't really calculate too much there. He did what he had to do. Probably the best thing there is the 12 tackles and 2 misses. So there's a good promising sign there defensively. Your thoughts on it, Fanatics? Fanatics, your thoughts on Daniel Otugolo?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, 17 minutes, 32 run meters, 12 tackles, 2 missed tackles, and that is 0 errors. So yeah, look, not much to say in terms of sample size there for Tony Olatukolo, but he's only just come in, so he had to come into the side. And yeah, look, I personally think that with our bench, I don't think we should have gone with 2 hookers on the bench. I think a pretty wrong decision there by Nathan, personal opinion. I don't think we should have gone with 2 hookers. I thought we should have had someone like Jack Murchie on the bench, but hard for Tony Olatukolo to come in, and it's not really much to say there in terms of Otokolo, but yeah, look, that's just what I believe personally. I just think Murchie should have started, or Murchie should have come on the bench, and Otokolo probably should have missed out. But yeah.
All right, Brad, over to you before we go into the talking points.
Yeah, so to clear it up, Murchie was out with a hamstring injury, so that's why he wasn't there. But they shouldn't have had him on. He shouldn't have been on the bench anyway. Having 2 hookers there, poor Otokolo had to go out and be a second rower in his 17 minutes, which isn't his position. I would have personally, it was Kepu was the 18th man. I would have had him on the bench instead, just to help the forwards out a bit more. And I don't think he played too bad for what he was given. When you're a little guy getting told you're a second rower, go out there and play. I think he did the best he could, but it's not his position. It'd be like if we were complaining about Whenua Blake playing as halfback. It's not his position. But yeah, hopefully Nathan Brown learns from this and doesn't make a bench rotation like that again.
Well, look, we'll finish the segment there, guys. We come onto this segment here, and well said there, Brad. Thank you. We come into the talking points, and there's going to be a few topics here that I'm going to just place on there. And again, feel free, guys, to please have your discussion and your opinions there. But just to sort of go off what we were just talking about just then, the small bench of the Warriors. Brad, what were your thoughts on it overall? And I think you sort of touched on it, but did you want to elaborate on some points there?
Yeah, sure. I just think it was too small of a bench. Obviously, it wasn't intended to be that way because Matt Lodge was named and then he dropped out during the week. I kind of just thought that Kipu would be getting his debut. And I know I saw a lot of people commenting on Facebook that, it's a baptism of fire to throw you in against the Roosters. But I mentioned in my review this week, this is the same club that last year debuted Reece Walsh against the Storm. So
yeah,
it's not like they're behind going, we can't put a young guy out there. But yeah, I don't think it's a wise thing to do. Having one prop on the bench isn't good for your prop rotation.
No, not at all. Fanatics, your thoughts on it?
I personally am not a fan of it. I don't like having a very small bench. I think it's the wrong call. It's the wrong decision, and you need to have a good combination on the bench there. You need to have your forwards, you need to have your hooker, your backup hooker, and that's the way I see it. I personally think that's the way it should be going, and not having such a small bench. So yeah, look, not a fan of the small bench.
Yeah, okay. And look, my thoughts on it just quickly. I think Nathan Brown was obviously trying to do the agile sort of thing, I think anyway. Or why else would you have Nikorima and Otogoro together? But again, to have him like that and then not even use him long as well is almost counterproductive. Like, why even have him in the first place if you're not going to have him play big minutes, especially against a tired forward Roosters pack? Again, yeah, look, a lot of questions with that sort of selection and team there. I just had this feeling, I may be wrong there, but I had this feeling he's probably going to put one of the Gepel twins up against the Storm. That's just, you mentioned Reece Walsh there, and I just have this feeling he's going to put one of the boys there possibly against the Storm. Why not? Because I suppose that's what he might do there. But yeah, that's probably my thoughts there. Now on to the next topic. Adam Fanatics and Curran. On average, I think anyway, the only consistent meter eaters. It's concerning. Brad, did you want to sort of follow through with that statement and again give us some of your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's a huge concern for me. Fanua Blake is the standard in terms of running meters for the Warriors right now. Curran's always in the talks of being like in the top 2 or 3 forwards each week, and the rest is kind of just a gamble on who's going to be hitting big numbers or not. As I touched on earlier with Fanua Blake, he just needs help out there. I was never a big meter eater myself, so I can't really make too many excuses. But they just need more of them out there. Consistency is the key. If they can get, even if you're getting between 90 and 100 meters every week, that's going to help. But if you're doing 90 this week, 50 next week, it's just not going to help the Warriors at all. And the Warriors have the tools in the back line to do stuff. They just need the forwards to help them out.
Yeah. Fanatics, over to you.
I think in terms of in the game, I think it's what happened there? Just cut out. I'm back now. So yeah, look, for Nurbe, only consistent meters, I think that is quite a concern for me because you need your other plays. We haven't got that. And so, yeah, I think it's a massive concern. every player needs to step up in that forward pack and need to show a bit more responsibility and gain more meters on the field and show a bit of what we need to. So yeah, that's what I reckon. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I think other players need to step up a bit more personally in that forward pack.
Yep. Look, I think heading into the season, I think a lot of people are talking about the Warriors pack and how brutal they can be or look like. But look, in saying that, even some of the players we mentioned, right? We'll mention Sirenen, Eagan, again, not even going near that, triple figure mark as Brad was talking about. And I'm not even talking about the likes of Matt Lodge as well, who, in my opinion, has been okay, but he's had his odd game too, and it's just been double figures. The last game as well, prior to this one against the Cowboys, I think it was about 79 meters he ran for. And for someone of his body size, and again, being that he and Adam Fanua-Blake are supposed to be, the two props leading the charge, it's not good enough. And the fact that Josh Curran is number 2 or 3 in run meters, considering who we have, it's just not good enough, And I can even say the same for the likes of Katoa as well. With big bodies, should be doing a lot more than just double figures. And is it concerning? It is. If we keep playing this way, I don't think it's not top 8 standard. I don't think anyway. I may be wrong there, but it doesn't get you, especially if you're not going to play like that. So it is a concern, and I don't know why things aren't being done to sort of rectify it. I think that's probably one place I'm coming from there. But look, we'll go into the next topic here. Our defense is great. Why are we not clicking offensively? Over to you first there, Fanatics. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, look, I think our defense is very good for the whole game, actually, for the second half as well. But I think our attack was all right at the start of the game, first half, bearing, a couple points. But, yeah, I'm not too sure how to answer this one, actually. Look, it's tough, we need to be showing. I think in the second half, I mean, you've got to give credit to the Roosters as well, as they defensively were making it very difficult for us. They were rushing up, making it hard, and so yeah, that's just what I reckon. I don't know how to answer it, quite frank. Actually, I just think that the Roosters defensively just showed a lot more in the second half, and they made it difficult for us in terms of scoring opportunities.
Yep. All right. So, Brad, over to you. So, again, I think defensively as a team, we've definitely grown. I'll say even that scoreline against the Roosters there favors us, considering how good we know they can be, right? They did tell up the Cowboys as well, like a few weeks prior to that as well. But why aren't we clicking offensively? Like, what are your thoughts and opinions on that one there?
Yeah. In terms of clicking, I think it's just growing the combination. That spine, I think the spine has got potential. They just need to get runs on the board with each other. If the forwards are doing their part and giving them the time, I think we see a better performance out of them. But it just seems to be, I don't know if it's too, like, maybe Walsh was used to doing it his way last year, and now Shawn's there and kind of leading the ship, and there's some just not working together quite right yet. I think, it's hard to explain. As a front rower, I'm all about knowing how halfbacks work. So, I think there's just a little bit of maybe they're trying too hard at times and stepping on each other's toes. And I think if they can take a step back and communicate a bit better, I think things will start syncing up.
Yeah, look, I agree there. One thing that does concern me, though, the Warriors, especially near the opposition try line, is why we just can't get it done. Why can we, like, for example, we'll get like a repeat set, right? Literally 10 meters out from our, from their try line. And it's almost as if we're better off attacking from the halfway line. Like, we can't seem to find the clicks, the passes. I'm not sure what it is. But we always, and even last year, I think a large chunk of last year was the same too, in that sense that whenever teams were on the back foot and we were on their try line attacking 5-10 meters out, whatever it was, it never went anywhere. And a lot of the time, I don't even want to, sort of credit the defense there. I just think we just can't get it done. I don't know why. But in saying that, look, with that being said, obviously there is a spine there that is thankfully playing a few more games together, which I think does work well for us. So it is about trying to, I think, just play at that and sort of see, what happens from there. But again, I guess, just quickly, a last talking point, which I have had on here, we can just talk just quickly. Alphas on the refs and the bunkers. So I think I'll let Brad sort of think about this one here. I'm sure he'll have something really nice and easy to say. But over to you, man. What were your thoughts initially on the refs and bunkers and how that sort of all mixed up amongst everything? And that'll be our last talking point as well.
Yeah, well, we were talking a lot about it before we went live, but there was a lot of 50-50 calls, and I don't remember the last time I saw a game where every 50-50 call went to one particular team. I still think that I'm not going to say that the decisions cost the Warriors by any means, but it definitely didn't help. There was a lot of calls. Sitting here I write my match report as the game's going, and it was getting very frustrated to not just put refs cocked up here. But I think the bunker was more at fault in this, because I'll give refs the benefit of the doubt because they're calling everything they see as it happens. So you're more prone to make a mistake, but the bunker was watching everything on 20 replays and still making the wrong call. And I mentioned in my review today, when Blocker Roach is commentating and saying that the Warriors are getting hard done by, you know that it's really bad. So, I don't like being that guy that blames the refs, but I'm going to be interested to see what Graham Ellerslie says about the performance overall, because I think it was shocking. And it wasn't the only bad reffing performance this round either. So, it's one of those ones that's really hard to take, and it ruins the performance. I think even as a Roosters fan, I'd be like, we won this game, but everyone's talking about the refs. It kind of takes the shine off the win for them, and it really hurts on the loss for us.
Well said there. Fanatics, what are your thoughts on the referees and all the bunkers? The bunker, sorry. Fanatics, what are your thoughts on the refs and the bunker there?
Yeah, look, for me, I was very disappointed with all the calls. I thought a couple of calls which you can say were completely wrong, but I think the bunker definitely. I don't think it's more the referee on field with the James Tedesco and the James Tedesco should have been sent to the sin bin on I think it was on Adam Fanua-Blake. I think that's in the bin because he was holding on tackle too long. And another incident, with Adam Fanua-Blake when he knocked the ball on, it was a knock-on field call, was knock-on, and we challenged it. And no surprises, to be honest. I did not expect us to win that challenge. And, it was called a knock-on, and that was not the correct call. It was a shocking call, in my opinion. And a few other calls that went against us as well. And I don't think officiating in terms of the bunker was enough. And we need to see more consistency with the bunker and how they rule. It's just what I feel. Yeah, I don't think we were wrong, but those calls definitely don't help us in the long term in terms of getting where we want to be.
Yeah, no, I agree. My sort of thoughts there before we wrap it up just quickly. I sort of mentioned it before with you boys before we started, but if Reece Walsh did the same thing that Tedesco had done, I know for a fact he would have been sin binned. There's no two ways about it. There's just no two ways about it. It would have happened. If you disagree, I'm going to have to strongly sort of disagree there with you. that call again with Adam from Blake, the bunker being involved, or even the bunker or the strip ball there, right? You could, I don't know. Again, sort of like what Brad alluded to as well. It's not the fact that we would have won the game. It's just more so the fact that it would have given us a chance to perhaps try and swing it around, into our favor. Obviously, it's about trying to win. But when the bunker is, saying that we lose the captain's challenge there, and you have the refs or making these type of calls as well, and it's just on the back foot, and we can't play catch-up footy, and there's no point in us playing back foot footy as well, which is what we did that game. But overall, yeah, it's not in the rest per se. I would agree there with Brad, but in terms of the bunker, absolutely, the bunker has something to answer to, because I thought it was ridiculous and a bit there, in my own opinion. But look, guys, I think that sort of sums it up. That wraps it up there. Quickly, I'll get you guys to say something each before you guys go. But Alex, over to you, man. Anything you want to say? And again, thank you for being part of the show.
Yep. So look, I just got to say, it was great to come on the channel tonight and discuss the game and give our thoughts on what happened. And so good to see Brad come on the channel thoughts as well. So yeah, I'd like to thank all the viewers for tuning in and watching. And I thought it was a great discussion tonight. Actually, it was a great chat. And yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, the game is Storm, we can carry on our effort areas and put it in for a full 80 minutes, because that's the reason. That's the reason why we lost against the Roosters, just not putting that performance in for the whole game. So yeah, hopefully we can do that against Melbourne Storm, which is going to be a tough ask against the Storm up there in Melbourne. But if we can show what we showed in this game, then we might be a chance, but we'll see what happens.
No worries there.
Thanks for having
me.
me.
Brad, over to you.
Being in and watching
no worries. Yeah, you're welcome. Brad, over to you, man. Where can we find you? What do you do again? And just any last words. Thank you.
I do it all, mate. I seem to be a guest on every Warriors podcast. So I'm still got a few I need to tick off the list. But yeah, you can check me out on my Facebook. I've got Inga's League Wrap Up. That has all the stuff I do. I'm trying to do stuff every day now. And yeah, I've always got links on there for my show. That's every Wednesday. And yeah, come check it out if you're interested. And cheers for having me on. It's great to have a chat.
No, look, thank you for coming on. Look, after this, I want to try and make this a regular thing, or as regular as we can make it. It'll be good to have you on regarding the Warriors and your opinions, which is very vital, being a Warriors fan as well, for not only us, but obviously for the viewers up there. But again, please follow Brad on Facebook as well, again, and for Fanatics, follow him as well. I think both of you guys, have Instagram as well, so follow them on that as well, and Fanatics YouTube as well. But yeah, thank you again, boys, for jumping on. I appreciate it very much. Good discussion, good yarn. We got the Storm. Not looking forward to that one. And again, to the chat there, hope you guys had fun. Again, apologies. It was a bit shaky over there, but I think we managed to sort of, walk through it. But again, thank you again, guys. Thank you. And hey, all we can say that both these boys know how to hold the ball. Take it easy. See you guys next time.
All right, guys.